Welcome to Sell Like You, the ultimate sales podcast that will teach you how to make sales your superpower, transform your mindset, and in doing so, explode your sales beyond your wildest dreams. I'm Harriet Meller, and over the last 17 years, I've helped hundreds of top companies around the world, including my own, make more money and qualify more leads using simple strategies that work. In this podcast, you'll learn how I generated over 10 million in annual sales, along with the sales techniques, processes, and tools that will work for you to generate more dream-aligned clients and scale your business beyond what you thought was possible. If you're sick of the boring, outdated, and pushy sales tactics of the past, you're in the right place. Let's dive in.
When it comes to your competitors, if you say, I don't care what anybody else is doing, then you are really missing a huge opportunity to position yourself so much better than you are right now. Now, most people say to me when I ask them about who are their competitors, who are they coming up against, who are your prospects considering in addition to you, they often say, I don't really care, who else they're looking at. It doesn't really matter, we're the best in this area. If they want to work with us, they will. I'm not really bothered about what anyone else is doing. And I absolutely get that. You should totally focus on you. Don't worry about what others are doing, unless they are winning business and being considered as an alternative to you. And so if you ask, you're mindful of, and if you know, and it's the same consistently or often the same competitor that keeps popping up, then we need to really focus on unique selling points. We want to have at least 3 standout unique selling points that are different to the competitors that are out there. Now, if you say to me, "Oh, I don't care," let's say you're a managed service provider or you're a cybersecurity implementation specialist, great. But there are loads of them out there. But who is coming up against you? Who is the ones that your opportunities or your prospects are seeking out and considering in addition to you? And so I'm not saying look at the entire landscape. Yes, we should know. But if you think about vendors have battle cards. They're incredible. We love a battle card. Especially I love like the internal battle cards, the ones that we're not allowed to send to clients. Like they were always my favorite. And the reason why we love having those is because it gives us insights into where we stand out, into what we can use to combat we're looking at this vendor and this is why, and this is what they're promising. Now, we don't want to say, oh, they can't do that. We don't want to correct them, but we need to stand out in our own right. And so vendors are very clear with who their main competitors are. And there might be, 30 or 40 others out there that can offer a similar service, but they're going to have 2 or 3 that they are coming up against in the market all the time. And so when they do that, they get these battle cards. They create this awareness around the key differences, the differentiators, the unique selling points. And so therefore, when it comes to you as a service provider or as a vendor or as a distributor, we need to be very mindful as to what the differences are. So as a vendor, I'm selling into managed services or integrators that can go off and sell our solutions. We may also be selling into end users. But if we use the channel model to give some examples, is that if somebody else is already selling another solution, we need to be very clear with what the unique selling points are. We need to be very clear with who we are positioning ourselves against. And if they are selling this other solution, how do we differ? Where do they position us over them? We need to be very clear with that. But when it comes then to selling into the market, if other people if we're not asking the question about who others are considering, we're never going to know or truly know who we're up against. And so the risk for me comes from when we are not seeing the repetitive competitors in our space. So if for the next 5 or 6 opportunities you ask that question, and out of the 6 there's 4 that are the same, then I'm going to have to really up my game against those when it comes to our unique selling points, our key differentiators, our stories, because we're going to have to fight against them time and time again. We also don't want that whole like deer in headlights look of, when somebody mentions a name and you're like, they're really good against us, or I've never heard of them. We want to be knowledgeable. We need to be knowledgeable in our market and whoever else is in there. And so regardless of your industry, regardless of where you're selling and who you're selling to, you're going to have competitors. I love it when people say, oh yeah, but we're the best in the market. Great, well done. but you're telling me that they're not considering anybody else. Are they considering apples for apples? Are they considering, do they have to get 3 quotes because they have to? It's part of their policy. So it means they're going to be going out to the market, and you need to be very clear and very confident in the way that you are positioning your services, your capabilities. Now, if we look to, we talk a lot about objection tables and about tracking objections. And the reason why we do that is because we can learn. If we are familiar, or if we're sharing as a team, the objections we're coming across, what we're coming against, how we can handle it, what has helped us overcome that, what have we asked, what have we shared, what have we uncovered, we can all learn from that. And so we use an objections table to do that. I will pop a link in the show notes so you can grab that as well. But that will help us track who others are considering in the same way. So you've got an objections table that may also come under competitors table. You can do the exact same thing. But a battle card will really help you to define who they are, what are their unique differentiators if you understand them. So where do they stand out versus where you don't? Or if you do stand out above them, give some examples around the types of businesses that have seen great success from your offerings. And so all of these ideas, all of this will help you stand out. It will help you prepare, and then it will help you win more against them. Now, if you've won against them every single time, great, but still build that case, because somebody new is going to start in your business, or we may then come across another challenge or another point that we need to be mindful of, and that's going to help you do that. Okay. Now, it will also help you highlight if there is a new kid on the block. And what I mean by that is that you may be across all of the key competitors in your field or in your market right now, but somebody new could come under the radar that we don't know about. They may have come from a different state or a different country, or they may have just popped up as a brand new entity. And if we are not asking those questions, then we hear this name, we can then go away and do our research. Okay. We can stay informed, and our customers and prospects want us to be informed. So if someone then says to me about an offering or somebody that does something similar, and I don't know who they are, I want to know who they are. I'm not afraid of them, but I want to know who they are, because there may be points where I can't help somebody, but they can. Or it may be that I need to turn on my A game for, my key differentiators, my unique selling points against them, especially if I'm hearing them time and time again. And so when I was selling tech and cybersecurity and services, I would always ask, who else are you considering? Who do you usually go to for this? Who have you worked with previously? Because I know I need to know where I need to be as good as, and then better than. That's always the goal. So who are you working with, or who have you worked with? Awesome. I know. And what did you like about them? What kept you buying from them all those years? I know I need to meet them there, at least there. And then I need to show them how I can be better. Okay. So it's really powerful to have that knowledge. It's powerful to share information with your team when it comes to objections, when it comes to competitors, utilizing that battle card mentality, which is, they say this, we say this. They do great things here, we do great things here. Our standout unique selling points are this. Here's our use cases, our stories, our capabilities. All of that is going to help everybody win more together. Okay. Now, just want to really highlight that we never want to bag the competition. We never want to put down the competition, because if they are working with them, or they are considering working with them, then that is your prospect's decision. Okay. If they have chosen to work with somebody and you go and you're like, you got what? You put that in. What made you do that? That's their decision. And you are essentially saying, why did you make that decision? Like, are you an idiot? And so we really don't want to come across in that way. So we never bag the competition. It's not classy. It's definitely not classy. But more importantly, remember, it's a decision that potentially they have made, and you will never win if you bag their decision and you then try and position yourself as the best choice. They have to come to that reasoning themselves. I always talk about helping our prospects make a data-driven decision, and you're going to do just that by giving them the intel, the insights, the information to be able to do that. Okay. So it's great to be able to understand. It's great to not have that deer in headlights moment of when they say somebody, you've never heard of them. Get out there, hear about what's going on. This also comes back to our connections. It comes back to being well connected in the industry, forging new relationships. They don't always have to be a prospect. They don't always have to be someone we can sell to. Go and have coffees and meetings and beers and Teams chats and connect with people on LinkedIn that are within your industry, that are a potential connector, a potential referrer, someone that you can impart wisdom on, someone that you can learn from. All of this adds into you being this connector, this go-to, this thought leader in your field, because you are thinking beyond the sale, beyond that one deal. And that will really help you do that. But ask who else they're considering. Understand who else they've worked with previously and why. Find out as much as you can about them in your qualification, because that will help you stand out. But don't think about the fact that asking about who else they're considering or who you're up against is caring about the competition. We should care about the competition, but we should care about it from a position of we need to know how to stand out. And if we get stuck, think about the battle cards that all of these vendors are using, and they are not looking at everybody. They're just finding out who they are against in the market and giving information relevant to that. As soon as a new one pops up, are they really a competitor? Are they really going to come up against us? Do your due diligence, do your learning, bring it into your everyday sales.
Thank you for tuning into the Sell Like You podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review and be sure to subscribe to never miss another one. A huge thank you to Vitality House for hosting today's recording, and I look forward to being back into your ears soon.